Hey everybody, it's your girl BondyBlue, and I am here to announce that I am teaming up with Reset by Design Wellness, a travel and wellness brand that focuses on empowering Black women like you and I, girl. And I am so excited because I have been wanting to go to Africa for forever, and I am finally getting that opportunity with this upcoming Heritage and Reset Wellness Retreat in Ghana. It's going down, y'all, in November 1st through the 9th, 9 days, 8 nights. It's going to be 2 different locations when we're on this trip. This is all inclusive. It's going to come with so many benefits, including an African ancestry test. There's going to be cooking classes, a boat cruise. There's going to be an opportunity to engage, to rejuvenate, to connect with one another, to connect with our ancestors. I am so excited about this, and I'm even more excited that some of my members will be coming along and we can experience Africa together, because this will be my first time. So I am so excited about this. I can't wait to go, and I hope that you guys will sign up. The link is down below in the description box. Don't worry, girl, I will be reminding y'all about this, so y'all might get tired of me talking about it, but that's okay, because it is important for us to all travel and have these amazing experiences, and some of them, girl, we need to have together. So go ahead down below in the description box, book it. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird, whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Hey everybody, what's going on? Happy hump day, happy Wednesday. Okay, listen, we're about to get into NeNe and Carlos interview part 2. Okay, hi everybody. I hope y'all are having a good day. I am trying to get in and get out, girl. Okay, before I get into it. So, as y'all saw, the ad for the retreat, need y'all to hurry up and get into it. Okay, I am going to be doing a live on Instagram that I'm going to repost here on YouTube next Monday with Taisha, one of the owners of Reset by Design, so that we can answer any of your questions and just, get the ball rolling. Okay, I have signed up, girl. I am ready. November is not that far away. So if you are trying to go to Ghana on the wellness retreat, go ahead and sign up at resetbydesignwellness.com. Okay, and come through on Instagram Monday so that we can go ahead and talk about the things, girl. I'm gonna make sure I also repost it here. Okay, so I don't know if you guys saw, but I did like a a mean post. So I'm leaning into it, girl. I'm going to lean into it. If you feel like I am so mean, girl, I am going to be mean. I'm going to be mean. I'm going to give it to you. That's what you want. I'm going to give it to you. Okay. There were so many people that are like, oh my God, Bondi, I thought so much better of you. And I'm like, don't think better of me, bitch. Don't think better of me. Don't think better of me, because I'm going to be being mean. I'm going to do the series. Like, it's going to be a mean post, girl. It's going to be a mean post. And if you decide to come and watch the mean post and still come in the comments with this, oh my God, Bondi, you're so mean, I think you prove my point as being full of shit. Okay, I really do. I think a lot of y'all online pump fake. I think that y'all like to pretend like y'all are good people. Meanwhile, you're thinking the same shit that I'm thinking. You're just not honest enough to say it. Okay, and it's always been that way. So I'm going to be being mean, girl. I'm going to be being mean. And if you don't like it, please go ahead and sign up for Erykah Badu's tour. Unfollow me, okay? Because I'm just not going to, I'm not going to people please. I'm not going to do that. We're not doing that. Moving forward, girl, it's not happening. So go ahead and step away. If I'm all of that, if I'm so terrible, if my energy is so dark, girl, go ahead and click off the video, unfollow me, and go on and find somebody that's more your speed. Don't Tabitha Brown do videos. Go on over there with the sweet babies. Okay? Go on over there with come on, my sweet babies. Okay. All right, y'all go over there to her where y'all can get the nice nasty check. Okay, y'all go over there. All right, because I'm not doing it. Oh, it sounds like my mic might be off. Okay, hold up. Let me make sure, child. Okay, we plugged in. Hold up. Let me see, cause you might be right. It say that I'm here. It say that I'm here. Y'all, can y'all hear me? Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, girl. Okay. Somebody say it sound perfect around their way. Okay, so then we just gonna go ahead. I need a new mic. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get that Shure mic. I'm gonna get it. It's time for me to upgrade my mic situation. Okay, so that y'all can feel like y'all real close to me, like I'm like in y'all ear, because that's what you want. Okay. I'll try to make that happen. Okay. So yeah. All right, Nia, and thank you, because that's my business. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Listen, thank you so much. Everybody congratulating me on the speak on it. Yes, girl. Okay, thank you so much. It is, yeah, onward and upward. Okay, listen. All right, I tried to do ASMR and people were laughing, so I just was like, okay, maybe this is in my lane. Maybe this is in my lane, girl. If you laughing and not being relaxed, I just need to stay doing what I'm doing, because you can laugh over here. You feel me? Like, like I might try it again one day. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the thing that we here to talk about. So let's start that. Let's start it.
The need to sue Bravo, NBC, and Andy Cohen?
First of all, I can't say that much about it because we are still, in our lawsuit. But
They still in their lawsuit? They still in their lawsuit? I thought that she dropped the lawsuit. I thought she dropped it. Hold up. Let me do a quick little cross reference right quick. Y'all hold up. NeNe sued against Bravo. Okay, hold up. It says here, August 22nd, 2022, almost a year ago, NeNe Leakes dismisses discrimination lawsuit against Bravo. NeNe Leakes' legal battle with Bravo and company has ended. The former Real Housewives of Atlanta star previously filed a lawsuit in April against Bravo, NBC Universal, network executives including Andy Cohen and other related parties. At the time, Leakes accused the defendant, including the production companies True Entertainment and Truly Original, of violating federal employment and anti-discrimination laws. Court documents obtained by People on Monday indicated the former reality star dismisses this action and all claims asserted by Leakes without prejudice. Dismisses this action and all claims asserted by Leakes without prejudice. Okay, which means that she can sue them again. That's what that means. All parties consent and stipulate to the foregoing dismissal. All parties consent and stipulate, meaning that they are coming to terms with the foregoing dismissal. The document reads, no party will seek recovery of cost or attorney's fees in any submission to this court, meaning you can't ask them people to pay for your legal fees. Okay. The situation is a joint stipulation dismissal without prejudice between all parties. Leakes, therefore, can resurface this case down the road if she chooses, like I said. People has reached out to Bravo and Leakes' legal representative for a comment on the dismissal news, which was first reported by U.S. Sun. When the lawsuit was initially filed, Leakes claimed that Bravo, Universal True Production team helped foster a corporate and workplace culture in which racially insensitive and inappropriate behavior is tolerated, if not encouraged. She also claimed that her former co-star and friend, Kim Zolciak, made racist comments for years, but claimed it was Leakes who was punished after allegedly informing network executives about the matter. You mean the same person you trying to have come back to the show? You mean the same person that you listed as one of your top people to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta? You mean the person that you're always giving grace and friendship to? Do you not see how hypocritical that is? For you to work for Bravo, know that they had this whole situation going on, and still be sitting next to Andy like you was, head bitch in charge all that time, knowing that. And then let's press even further. Kim told y'all on the last reunion show she was the only dumb white bitch that would get on stage with a bunch of niggas. She didn't say that, but that's what she wanted to say. That's what she wanted to say. And you and Sheree seem to feel like Y'all aren't the niggas. Okay, got it. All right. Let me continue on. Leakes claimed the network did not terminate their relationship with Zodiac Bierman, nor take any other meaningful action to put an end to her racially offensive behavior. But she's your friend. She's your friend. Later, addressing the allegations on the Nightcap with Carlos King in June, Zodiac Bierman claimed Leakes knows what she's saying is not true in regards to me. She also called Leakes' claims ridiculous. Girl, ask Sweetie about it, okay? Ask Sweetie about it. Leakes was part of Real Housewives of Atlanta since its debut in 2008. She moved to a part-time role in the show's 8th season before returning as a full-time cast member in season 2. Okay, I'm sorry, season 10. Sorry. Okay, but yeah, she officially left the show 12th season 2020. All right, I just wanted to give us some backstory on that situation. Now, let's continue on. As she's saying, they're still in litigation. Is that so?
I had a love and respect for them that I honestly don't think they ever had for me. Honestly. And to this day, I still respect them for what they do.
And so, okay, let me be, y'all, can I say this right quick? She says that they had a love for her. I'm sorry, she had a love for them that they didn't have for her. NeNe, duh, bitch. Duh. And the fact that you never worked in corporate America, the fact that you never had probably a real job where you was trying to get somewhere in that job, that's why work experience is important. Because work experience would have told you that no corporation cares about the Black lady that they are using to climb in whatever way they're climbing. Like, they're using you. They're always using you. Everybody knows this. If you look at sports, the people that own the teams make way more money than the players. It's the exact same thing with social media. The people that own social media, of course, make way more money than those of us that they make their money off of. NeNe, you're the talent. You know you don't make as much money as the people that's making money off of you, which should already let you know they don't care about you the way you care about them, and you shouldn't care about them that way. You seem to have not even learned that lesson. But if you had a regular job at some point, maybe you would have learned that. Girl, that's crazy for you to even have thought that them people really cared about you. Your boss is not your friend. Come on, like, girl, life lessons that we should know at this big age. I'm gonna continue on.
They do it great. You know, you cannot take that away from them. They're great at what they do.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I wasn't experienced enough to know that in a lot of these corporate places, they don't love you. I mean, you're here to work, and then they can throw you out the door anytime they feel like it. I love them, and I had personal relationships with them because.
And it's so funny. And now she's acting like she was ignorant of that fact. But to me, I feel like you knew it because you would use it against the other women. You knew that the corporation could use you and throw you out because you would sit next to Andy on Watch What Happens Live and talk about which girls you felt like needed to go or which girls wasn't bringing what they were supposed to brought to the show. You would do that. So at some point you recognize that the corporation could just throw anybody out if they felt like it. You just thought that it wouldn't happen to you, which is what we were telling you the whole fucking time, that you were too big for your britches. We have been telling you that. Thank you, Goody Gabbers Ascensions Intentions, for the super chat. And there's another one. Wait a minute. Thank you for this one. Facts. Work experience would have also showed her what type of time Kim Zoe was on. Exactly. But I feel like you feigning ignorance now is not, it's not making me feel better. It's not. It makes me feel as if you knew all of these things at some point over your 12 seasons of being on that show, and at some point had decided it worked to your benefit, so you were going to use it against other Black women, and then you wanted to turn around and come to us with the bullshit like, oh, look, y'all, Bravo's being racist. Girl, stop.
When I started Bravo, they were big, but they weren't big like they are now. So my contact people were, I talked directly to, the president of the network, and directly to Andy, and directly to all the executive. I just talked to them directly, emailed them directly, called their phones directly. Today they have grown.
You thought you were that girl.
That people aren't talking to them directly. You're talking to someone else to get to them, and that kind of thing. All I ever wanted on this show was to be treated fairly. And a lot of girls, and
you were treated more than fairly. You were treated more than fairly in comparison to the other girls. You just overplayed your hand. You overplayed your hand. And anybody that was paying attention saw you doing it at least from like season 8. As soon as she did The Apprentice, as soon as she started working with Ryan Murphy, as soon as she started working on Broadway, the head, this was you, okay?
And the people that work on the show and behind the scene know that there was things that just were not fair at all. And it pains me and hurts me deeply how I fought for some of the girls that are on the show and how they did not fight for me to stay on the show and how much I fought for them to stay on the show. That's very painful. And
who exactly?
The cast, period.
Okay.
Like, all of these girls know that there was unfair treatment because we all have been in group text messages where all of these girls have texted and said that they were feeling unfair treatment. They didn't get fair treatment. There's no secret. I have the text messages. They have the text messages. We've all been in group text messages for a very long time since we've been on the show, right? So I know the complaints. There's been times when we have complained and we all sat with the executives to talk about, things that we felt that were not fair. And I just felt like I wasn't getting fair treatment. And I feel like I should have been treated differently. And I should have been giving better, fair treatment. That's it. And I want you to know that I have always, from day one, been very open to sitting down and having.
To be clear, you wanted to be treated better than all of the other housewives because you were comparing yourself to how the white girls are being treated. You want to be treated like the white girls. The issue you don't seem to understand is you are not a white girl, and we live in a racist society. We live in a racist system. We live in a system where it doesn't matter that your star outshines all of those white girls. They will still be treated better than you because the corporation is headed by white people. And white people are going to at all times respect and put their people ahead. That's what they do. And hey, there are some Caucasian people out there that just so happen to be Caucasian. But all in all, y'all are gonna help y'all own people. And I'm not even mad about it at the end of the day. It is what it is. To me, the only thing everybody else can do is recognize the truth of the situation and move accordingly. And what you should have been doing was trying to create camaraderie with the Black women who were always trying to form some type of friendship and some type of business alliance with you when it came to Real Housewives of Atlanta. All of those women that you gave your ass to kiss every time you felt like it, because you thought you was better than them because you was sitting next to Andy. Those are the people that you should have been trying to form relationships with instead of letting your insecurities as an uneducated used to be stripper bitch that stole an old nigga from his first wife, because that's the situation and that's what you feel. So every time somebody was coming on this show, Cynthia, Kandi, Phaedra, all of those women, Kenya had something. All of them had something before they got to this show. And you were always intimidated. You were always jealous. And instead of checking yourself and realizing that you should have been forming real alliances and friendships with those people, you decided to give them your ass to kiss. And now, who can you run to feel this empty space full of laughter? Who can you run to when you need love? Hey. Who? Carlos, right? Is Carlos going to give you a show? I hope so.
That conversation to figure out how to work anything out, how to move forward, how to just anything that we could do to just move forward. I've always been very open to that. I can't say that the other side has been that way, but I have always been open. So I see a lot of people commenting and saying things like, why y'all can't work it out, or why can't y'all do?
The other side has not been open because they have all the leverage. You don't have any leverage. Again, overplayed your hand.
I've always been open to working it out. I've always, people say, well, maybe NeNe didn't want to do. That's not true. I've always been open to working it out. I've always been open to having a conversation. They have never wanted to have a conversation, or they've never wanted to move forward in any kind of way.
is what led to it was that you were negotiating to come back season 13, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Maybe that. And allegedly, you were offered a limited role to come back, a maximum of 6 episodes.
That's right.
Out of what we now know to be 20 something. And was that the start of you realizing that, okay, I'm not getting the treatment that I deserve as an OG?
I need to rewind that because my dog is downstairs barking. Hold up.
To move forward in any kind of way.
Is what led to it was that you were negotiating to come back season 13, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Maybe that. And allegedly, you were offered a limited role to come back, a maximum of 6 episodes.
That's right.
Out of what we now know to be 20 something. And was that the start of you realizing that, okay,
girl, duh, that was the humbling. That was the humbling. You thought you was too big for your fucking britches, and then people was like, okay, we'll let you back, but we only gonna give you 6 seasons. Show us that you can give us something and these 6 episodes. Show me that you can give me something in these 6 episodes, and then when we renegotiate for season 14, we can put you back in full capacity. That's the mindset that she should have had. Do you remember when Kenya went and got married in the off season and didn't tell anybody? Bravo was mad at her about that. So when she came back, finally, she had to kind of take a back seat a little bit. Because Bravo is mad at her. When Portia had her fight, when she came back, she had to take a back seat for a minute. Bravo has often tried to discipline the women on the show by taking their episodes away from them, not putting them as prominent, not giving them as much screen time. And all you got to do is think smart. All right, I overplayed my hand. I ran my mouth too fucking much. I made these people mad. They the ones who actually have the power. I need them. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to suck it the fuck up. I'm going to do the 6 episodes. I'm going to give these hoes everything I got in these 6 episodes. And hopefully when season 14 roll around, I'll be back in my seat. But she didn't want to do that. And guess what? I don't fault her for that. If you didn't want to be humbled, if you felt like you built this house and you're not going to just take 6 episodes, okay, then go on your way and create something else somewhere else. But you didn't do that. And you still not doing that. That's the problem. You continue to think you are more valuable than you really are in that space.
I'm not getting the treatment that I deserve as an OG, as the person who gives so much to the show, that you have these other girls who don't give y'all nothing. And they get 14 episode guarantee, minimally. And here I am getting 6. Was that the moment you realized something had to be done?
No. I realized a long time ago.
Okay.
And I think that I'm not sure if they realized that I realized that I wasn't getting fair treatment. I knew it a long time ago. I had been watching it for so freaking long. And as time went on, my episodes, got less and less and less and less. It was like a phase out. You know, oh, you started out with 20 or 18 and you went to 16.
Girl, nobody was like intentionally phasing you out. The times that you were there, you were acting like you didn't want to be there. You did exactly what Kim Zolciak did. You would show up and basically make the other women feel like, girl, I'm just showing up to get this check. I don't really want to be here. I'm above this now. I can do better than this, but I'm just here because this is my house. So I'm going to show up and let y'all know, but I don't need this. That was your attitude. That was your attitude, girl. And it was going on for such a long time. Like, if you were actually paying attention, y'all, NeNe had been giving Bravo her ass to kiss for a while, Brian.
He went to 15, he went to 12, he went to 10, he went to 8, he went to 6. And I'm thinking, you guys are offering me 6 episodes.
She snatched the cameraman.
This has nothing to do with I'm NeNe Leakes and I started from the beginning. It was just like, why am I being offered 6 episodes? Like, explain that to me. And the only explanation that I could get was that you're unhappy. So in my mind, you're going to tell me I'm unhappy? How can you tell me that I'm unhappy? I'm not unhappy. What do you mean? I just get 6 episodes because you think that I'm unhappy? Why am I unhappy? I'm unhappy that I got 6 episodes. I mean, shouldn't I get more than 6 episodes? Like, why is it a phase out when there's other girls who are not the same complexion?
How do I know what? How do I? They get us to fight against one another all the time. But who is she fighting against? Who is she fighting against? So I'm just saying, like, how do I know what? I really have been here for most of this. Like, I've been doing YouTube, I've been reviewing the show, I've been being someone that's on the blogs and knows the stories and has seen the interviews because I do this for a living. But what do you want me to prove to you that I know?
As me and started as an original housewife, why are they being offered 18 episodes and I am being offered 6 episodes? What did I do? Because I don't know anything that I've done ever on this show that no other housewife in this franchise have not done. I've not done anything that no one else has done. There's been physical altercations on all of these shows, and I've not been involved in any physical altercation, right? There are so many times when people say things to me like, you pulled Kim's wig. I said, you got it very mixed up. I never pulled Kim's wig. That was Sheree that pulled Kim's wig, okay? Be clear about who pulled it. I was standing there, right? And then
well, we know that something happened off camera between y'all two. But I don't give a shit about that. That's not why you was getting reprimanded, NeNe. You wasn't getting reprimanded because you were worse than other housewives on the show. That's not why. This is bullshit.
People say, you got into a fight with Kim. Where is the fight? Did you see it? Where is it? Was it on camera? Where is the fight? You didn't see me in a fight anywhere, anytime, ever on this show, right? So you have girls on.
No, we saw you snatch the cameraman and rip his shirt because you didn't want him going into your closet. You act a fool with them girls because they came over to your house. You didn't even want them in your house. Y'all don't remember none of this?
Other franchises pulling each other's hair, busting glasses. You know, they say, well, you left the reunion. Well, what reunion have you seen that a housewife didn't get up and walk off the show or walk off a reunion? So I would like to know what it is that I did that someone else did not do. These girls have done way worse than I could ever have done. And then you go to, oh, well, you pushed the cameraman. Well, so he was in the way.
Okay.
Okay. Now what else is going on?
So, okay, well, you telling us that you did something that may be deemed unacceptable in a space, but you don't give a fuck. Okay, well, you know that there are consequences whether you give a fuck or not. That's what it is.
Teresa pushed Andy down.
If you're gonna not give a fuck, then you need to like really not give a fuck. Meaning that when Bravo don't want to fuck with you no more, you need to not give a fuck instead of like having this begging ass energy now after you've been giving them people your ass to kiss for I don't know how long. Tell me how I'm wrong, please.
At the reunion when he tried to stand up. So what else are you talking about? So there's nothing that I've ever done that no other housewife haven't done, if not worse. So I understood why I was being given less and less and less. But I wanted to understand from their side why.
But she's an
what
asshole.
Did I do? You can't tell me it's because, you know, you make too much money, you know, when you got these other girls who are making more money, you know, what is it that I was doing? I saw what it was, and I've been watching it for a very long time. And again, all I asked for was fair treatment. That's it.
Bethenny Frankel is a very outspoken housewife.
Yes, I spoke to her recently as well.
Oh, what was that about?
Go ahead with your question.
Bethenny Frankel has been very outspoken about housewives in a very negative light.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I think she speaks out and says things, but I also think she teeters a little bit around. Like, I think she knows what to say and what not to say.
Well, what's interesting to me is because I do listen to her podcast. She talks about how much money the girls make. She talks about how, you know, the Housewives show now is a bunch of women fighting. I won't go back. They have this book they asked me to be interviewed for, and I'm like, I'm not going to be a part of a book that talks about women this way. Like she speaks about it in a very negative light, but she also gets invited to watch what happens live. Do you think that there's a different treatment between you and Bethenny? At the end of the day, you both are outspoken women.
Yeah, there's a very big difference. First of all, you just said that she gets to get invited to watch what happens live. I am the only housewife that has been on Watch What Happens Live. I'm sorry. I've been on Watch What Happens Live more than any housewife. Certainly when he first launched the show, they used me to sit there over and over and over and over and over and over again to help launch Watch What Happens Live and make it a success, and the success that it is today. Because I personally do not think that Watch What Happens Live would be successful without the Real Housewives franchise, period. I don't think that that Andy would have any of his success without the Real Housewives franchises, period, because that is where he's known from. It's the Real Housewives franchise. And I also think that Bethany can speak and say things that I can't speak out and say. I could say some of the same things that Bethany is saying right now, and I would get criticized, or I would not be invited here, invited there, and I certainly wouldn't be able to hang out.
Because you're black, honey. Because you're black, honey. It's not fair, but come on. Y'all, this is what NeNe said back then. In September 27, 2020, she's on Twitter because I guess Wendy Williams and Andy said some shit about her that she didn't like. So she said, I will always eat and eat good. Believe that. I have always believed in multiple streams of income. So the leaks are good. You old cocaine head and you old racist. Now she's talking about Wendy and she's talking about Andy respectively. She wasn't calling Andy a cokehead and a racist. She was calling Wendy a cokehead and Andy a racist. But I just kind of feel like, girl, does it really matter? I feel like we all know or can assume what Andy does when he goes out and rubs on, young black men's nipples at parties. Like, I don't know what y'all think's going on there, but you putting those two things in the same sentence, just, it brought it to mind for us. And are we really going to act like it's, so far from the truth? Come on now. No one knew you until you knew me. Remember, I'm Icon. Don't forget. This is what she's telling people online. It's on Twitter. She said they always manipulating black women to say negative things about each other while they sit down and enjoy us tearing each other down. This is when she remember Breonna Taylor, trying to use Breonna Taylor as if she wasn't also somebody that would tear other women down for no fucking reason. Sitting there with Andy when you had no issues with Andy, you will go in on black women. So I'm trying to understand when did the white people make you talk bad about Kandi? When did the white people make you talk bad about Kenya? When did the white people make you talk bad about Cynthia, about Portia, about Phaedra? When? Tell me when the white people made you fight the black women, and that's why the relationship is the way it is between you and the rest of the girls that was on that cast. I feel like NeNe was a fucking bully the entire time for the most part. That's always been my, my understanding of her. She's always been a bully. She's always been insecure. She's always not liked when a woman would come on the show and had, more accolades, as she would say. You got memes, you got one-liners, you funny, all of that shit. But once again, delusional, overplaying your hand.
With anybody in the Hamptons. I think she can say whatever she wants to say, and it's okay. I just am not in that position. I can't say whatever. And she will still work. And I think if we speak and say some of the same things that she's saying, we can no longer work. Opportunities are being taken away. Yeah. You're not invited here. We don't like her. We don't want to work anything out with her. I don't get that same opportunity.
Oh, so y'all hear what she just said, right? That's people that saying they don't want to work with her because of how she is. It's not because she's black. It's because of how she is with people.
You made some allegations about Zodiac.
First of all, where Kim Zodiac is concerned, I think all of the girls on the show all have felt some kind of way, including production, about Kim Zodiac. Now, that is not a secret. And I have the text messages to prove it. We have sat in meetings to discuss Kim Zodiac being able to do things that we're not able to do, i.e. take a trip together. None of us want to take those trips together because we know those trips are intense. And we know that you're going to be confronted and there's going to be some sort of confrontation. But for whatever reason, Kim never had to take any of those trips. We all had children. We had to leave our children behind. She never had to do that. She could skip the trips and stay home. And we would have to be the ones out on and she still got her check. And we still had to be on that show, on that trip, having confrontations, making sure this show was a success. And Kim would show up when she was ready to show up. And that is just the truth of the matter.
If Andy Cohen is watching right now, what is it that you
Is she your friend?
Hi, I heard you had 2 babies now. Congratulations, you have a girl. That's amazing. I always knew you wanted to be a parent, Buttercup. I don't have any hard feelings.
You don't have any hard
I'm a Sagittarius. So at some point,
girl, I'm sorry, Sagittarius people, but y'all like to think that life's rules don't apply to y'all. Y'all love to think that the rules of everyday life, the rules of science, the rules of nature, the rules of society, bitch, y'all like to think that those things don't apply to y'all. And there's a place where that absolutely works to your advantage, because a certain level of delusion is required in order to manifest or get whatever you want in life that may seem so big and far away from you. You have to have a little bit of a delusion in there, because you have to believe in yourself more than anybody else around you. Everybody else around you will tell you you can't do something. You have to believe that you can anyway. That's where a little bit of that delusion comes in. But where this becomes extremely delusional is where you sit up here right now and act like you're not low-key shading him with the buttercup and trying to be nice and sweet and shit, where you was calling that man racist.
I may be mad with you, but then I get over it. I'm not the kind of girl that...
Well, see, no, you think that you can like say any old thing to people. Y'all, I have people in my life like that. You think that you can talk to people any kind of way, that you can say anything, that when you get mad, you can throw all of common sense, compassion, and everything out the fucking window. You can completely become an asshole because you're mad. And after you're not angry anymore, everybody should just be happy and get over it. No.
Carries a grudge or hold the grudge forever. I'm also not an ass kisser. Again, I'm a Sagittarius, so I don't generally kiss ass, and I will not kiss ass. I would just say that I hate that we're in this place.
Oh, I know.
I really wish it was a way for us to find our way back to each other, because, life is short, and you just don't want to carry ill feelings for the rest of your life. You don't have to work together. You don't have to do anything, but it would be nice to either just work through the issues. There's been so many people with greater issues in friendships, and they work through them. As I said to you earlier, Cynthia and I will never be best friends again, but we have talked and we've worked through whatever issues we have. So when we see each other, we can laugh, we can talk, and we can sit at a table together. We can work together. I think it says a lot about a person when they can't just say, let's just move on. We'll work through that moment and let's just move on, because I honestly don't have any ill feelings. What happened has happened.
Is the end result of this, I know you can't speak much on it, we'll move on, but is the end result of this lawsuit, would you like to go back on Atlanta Housewives?
I can't say that I personally would just like to go back on Atlanta Housewives. However, the fans have all asked for me, and the fans are the reason for the ratings. They're the reason for the show being as popular as it is. And if I had to go back, it will be 100% for the fans.
Isaiah, I went on down to the Audubon Zoo, and they all asked for you. They all asked for you. They even didn't cry about you. I say I went on down to the Audubon Zoo, and they all asked for you. The monkey's ass, the lion's ass, they all asked about you. Girl, don't nobody care. Don't nobody care.
The check is not a bad check, although I think my check should be bigger. The check is not a bad check.
Do you watch the show now?
I do not watch the show. However, I have watched a lot of the clips that come down.
So, of course she can't watch the show. Of course she can't watch the show. Girl, if I was her, I wouldn't be able to watch that fucking show without me.
Social media. I don't even know how to turn my TV on. I think everybody that knows me, including Andy Cohen, knows this about me. I don't watch TV.
What do you think about the clips you've seen online?
I thought the clips online, well, they weren't, that entertaining. I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of the girls that are on the show currently. And just meeting them in person, they weren't entertaining, or they were not like, I just don't see any stars on the show.
To be clear, you never see any stars. You're the only star, NeNe. That's what's been very clear about your commentary. You're the only star.
We have Kenya, Kandi, Sheree, Sonia, Drew, and Marlo. Out of those 6 women, do you see any stars in them?
I do not.
Okay. How do you feel about Marlo getting a peach?
From what I've heard and from what I've seen, Marlo is the one that's bringing the most entertainment on the show. Now, we really have a problem. So if Marlo is the biggest entertainer on the show, they have got to do something.
Thank you, Seven.
Why is that?
No, not that she's not entertaining. It's just shocking that this has been a person that was a friend to the show for many years. And now she is bringing the most entertainment. That says a lot about those girls who've been holding those peaches for years. They need to take away their peaches and let them become the friend then. Because if she's being the most entertaining person on the show, that's crazy. Some of those girls have been on the show. That they are paying
Do y'all think that Marlo is the most important? I mean, is the most entertaining person on the show? Because I don't. I think Marlo will do anything to have a moment on the show. That's what I think. I think that because she's an opportunist and will take advantage of all of those moments the way she does, but it doesn't make her entertaining. If Marlo was entertaining on her own, then we would see her at her house, making us fucking laugh by just being her. We would see her interact like when you were on the show and your interactions with your family were seen as entertaining because you are entertaining. Marlo is not entertaining. Marlo is just thirsty to keep her peach, to be honest.
Paying some of the other people probably way more than they're paying Marlo, and Marlo is the most entertaining, then they need to give Marlo some of these other people's check. And some of
you sound crazy as hell even saying that shit, that they need to give her some of their check. When let's be very clear. Kandi fought for you, Marlo, to get on the show, and we know that, okay? Why the fuck, after everything Kandi has done for Marlo, should she have to give her some of her check because she's decided to malign Kandi and fight with her about dumb shit? Do you see how crazy that sounds? So I can help you get on the show. You decide to make your narrative on the show to attack me and to bring up sensitive subjects for me, even though I'm the person that helped you get on the show. I tried to help you get a show in the past. I've always helped you. So now you've made your lot in life this season to come at me and make my life fucking miserable, and I'm supposed to give some of my check to you because that's entertaining for toxic motherfuckers to watch? Are you insane? You're insane.
But them need to, take a back seat.
Does Marlo deserve to have a peach?
I think so now, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because before you said she didn't deserve a peach. Before you said she didn't have anything going on and she doesn't show her life. That's what you said in the last interview when you spoke about Marlo. Now we've changed it up. Okay.
A lot of people have said that Marlo is the reason why you don't get a friend of a peach. They feel like
that's why you don't do what?
People have said that Marlo is the reason why you don't give a friend of a peach.
Okay.
They feel like Marlo was best served as a friend of to the show. Pop in, pop out, and goodbye. A lot of people can't stomach Marlo being full-time. They don't think she has the gravitas to hold the candle of what a peach holder brings to the show. And they feel like she was better served as a friend of.
I'm going to tell you right now, whenever Carlos says the people, but he goes into that much detail like he just did, it's not the people. That's his opinion. That's his opinion. However, I agree with his opinion about Marlo.
If you were still on the show, would you have wanted Marlo to be a peach holder posing alongside you in the main titles?
I can understand what people are saying and what they mean, but I have a relationship with Marlo. So therefore, I'm happy to have a friend that I know to hold a peach,
Mm-hmm. But so y'all friends again? Y'all cool again? Is that because she's on the show and you trying to get back on the show? And maybe if y'all decide to force a fucking scene, you'll get back on the show? Don't play like that, because them Bravo people do not give a fuck. Don't play like that. Just go find something else to do. It's absolutely given. Now you're going to try to use Marlo the way Marlo used you all those years, pretending to care about you and being a pick-me so that, you would bring her on the show as your little minion.
Understand what they mean. It's sort of like, now, why y'all gave her a peach? I get what they're saying, but I'm happy seeing Marlo in the role, though. I get it.
Do you think Kandi's overrated and overpaid?
I do.
That also, like, do you think Kandi's overrated and overpaid? Like, you sat there and thought about that one, didn't you, Carlos?
Tell me why.
I just don't think that, me and Kandi, just so for the record, so that everybody can know, I just always want to speak very freely and very honest. Kandi and I have severed any issues that we had, which I don't think that I never ever understood why she has so much animosity towards me.
Girl, the gaslighting. If we go back to the very first fucking season that you and Kandi were on that show, Kandi was trying to be nice to you and you was looking at her crazy and all in her fucking face and trying to intimidate her with your size. And she told you to back up off her before she blew up on your ass. Bitch, go watch that season again. Stop playing with me. Y'all love rewriting history. You have had it out for Kandi. Kandi has constantly tried to be cool with you over the years, and you always turn around and give her your ass to kiss, which I'm sure you're going to do right now.
And some of these other girls who are ripping her apart, like she's back friends with Portia now. And I love Portia, but I would not be friends with Portia if I was Kandi. According to what Portia and Phaedra did to her, then she should probably never be friends with her again. But
I agree. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I think that whatever happened between Kandi and Portia, there is a sexual chemistry that happens. And I think that Kandi low-key, I think, is easy. I don't want to say manipulated, but I do feel like there's something about Portia that is kitty clicking manipulative. Like, and there's something inside Kandi that responds to the very, you know what I'm saying? The very like juicy, oh my God thing that Portia has going on. Kandi, I think, responds to that. And I think that's the reason why she still is cool with her and friends with her, because on some level, she still wants to fuck her.
But she's found a way to bridge the gap, and now they're talking. So I get it. But it felt like to me like,
oh, and to be clear, I feel like Portia is the type of person that will act like she wants to fuck you so that she can use you.
Kandi held the biggest grudge against me, and all we had was petty little arguments and stuff. I think that Kandi is not exciting. I just don't think she's an exciting. I don't think the camera loves her. I just don't think the camera. I think the camera loves her family, but I don't think they love her. And so
I think that's bullshit. The camera doesn't love Kandi. I disagree. If the camera didn't love Kandi, Kandi would not have been in the limelight since she was what, 16? Kandi's been famous since she was 16. How are you going to say that the camera and the limelight don't love somebody that's been fucking famous since they were 16? How does that even make sense in your brain?
I don't think the viewers or anybody would ever see Kandi as much as...
I do feel like people were trying to force Kandi to be cool with Portia. I do feel like, oh, just get over it. I think honestly, I'm saying that because I feel like there was a point where everybody, for the most part, not everybody, but most people were being genuinely manipulated by Portia's very, you know, the femininity and all of that bullshit that she puts on. Yeah. People respond to that shit, especially long term. People respond to that. And I think that Kandi responds to that like everybody else does. Because I do think that Kandi don't see Portia as no real friend like that. But she still hangs around her because she thinks it's probably best for business. But in all honesty, I really do feel like Kandi shouldn't really be fucking with Portia.
They want to make Kandi like the star, and she's like, she's been there for 100 years, and she is her. I don't think not one person tunes in and believes that. I believe everybody tuned in and be like, okay, there's Kandi. Okay, now what's going on? Where's Kenya? Okay, where's next? I don't think that anybody tunes in and be like, oh my God, she's just bringing it, and she's so everything. I think people look at it and
Kandi doesn't have to have an over the top personality in order for people to want to see her. People just like Kandi. She doesn't have to do extra in order to be liked. She's just who she is. And a lot of people respond to that. It is what it is. Like I don't know what anybody's talking about. Kandi's a fan favorite, and she's been a fan favorite. People love Kandi. Like it is what it is. She doesn't have to do anything extra for people to love her. She doesn't. The extra shit she does is her talents, her work ethic, her consistency, being likable, trying to help people. Those things make her likable. She doesn't have to act over the top on camera to be liked. You have to do that, but she doesn't. Everybody plays their position differently. I know there are a lot of people that don't like Kandi, but at the end of the day, y'all really don't matter. Like, I'm sorry, but y'all don't really matter in comparison to the people that do like Kandi and do support Kandi. Because if your opinion of not liking her mattered, then more people wouldn't like her. You see what I'm saying? You're in the minority not liking Kandi, and that's fine. I'm in the minority on a lot of shit, and I don't give a fuck. I feel how I feel about the shit. I was in the minority not liking Jocelyn. I was in the minority not liking NeNe. I didn't like any of these bitches that y'all love so much because they so over the top on camera. I thought they were all mean, opportunistic, bitchy ass women that were vapid with nothing deep or profound about them. That's what I thought. I was in the minority.
Be like, okay, next. I don't think
not Kandi is the reason why the show is trash. Child, that's absolutely a lie. That's absolutely a lie. She's not a producer on the show. Let's start there. She's not a producer of Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's not in charge of who gets on the show. She's just on the show. And she wasn't even really there that much this season. So if she's the reason why the show is doing so bad, why is it this season still didn't do that well and she wasn't there most of the time? Can you explain that to me? Riddle me that, Batman.
I think anybody is like that with it. I just don't. And I have to go a step further and say, I believe that production and the network wanted it to be that way. I think that they wanted girls on these shows who did not have the it factor. I said years ago that most of these girls,
child, we can't have a whole bunch of you it factor bitches on one show, okay?
Have the I, but they do not have the T.
Atlanta Housewives at one point in time was.
She may not have the T, but you know what she do have? A job at Bravo. That's what she got. She got a job at Bravo. And the ability to bring them 6-episode shows that they will put on their network. That's what she does.
The number one show on the network consecutively for more than 5 years, arguably. It no longer is. The number one show.
Hold up. I got you. You say she is a Bravo pet. They do whatever she want, but that's y'all queen. So if Kandi is a pet, she's Bravo's pet, how is it that they do whatever she wants? That doesn't make any sense. If you're a pet, then you do what people want you to do. See, what y'all don't understand is Kandi is smart and she doesn't overplay her hand and she doesn't give people her ass to kiss if she still wants to use them, because that's stupid. That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, would you rather her be like NeNe and give Bravo her ass to kiss and then be begging for a job? Would y'all prefer that? I think Kandi's life is boring at this point. For a reality TV show, yeah, it is, because it's a regular life. But back when she was getting married to Todd, back when Mama Joyce was acting a fucking fool, back when she was dealing with stuff with her baby daddy, like back when she's dealing with stuff with her group Escape, like Kandi, like the Escape show was very entertaining and really, I think, did really well. People were watching the Escape show. So I'm trying to understand, if Kandi's so boring, if Kandi's so blah, why is it that Kandi shows do well? Hello, how did Kandi and the Gang get canceled if she's a pet? Wouldn't they have just kept her show on? I'm sure it was getting more viewership than Kim Zolciak's show was getting, but they let that white lady keep her show for a long ass time. I just want y'all to just admit that y'all don't like Kandi, and that's okay. That's okay, but stop trying to like create bullshit around the narrative that you don't like somebody, so they're undeserving of what they have because you don't like them. That's not how that works. Okay, come with something a little better.
Bravo is Below Deck. The number one Housewives show
Beverly
is
Hills, isn't it?
The number one show of Housewives is The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Atlanta Housewives, I think, has fallen to the number 3 slot.
And I think they wanted it that way.
You do? Why?
I just do. I just think that they did not want these girls to be the number one show. I just do. That's just a personal thing. I just feel like they just did not want these girls to continue to be number one. That's just my opinion.
Why has Atlanta Housewives slid from the number 1 spot?
So are they not entertaining, or did Bravo not want them to win? Which one is it? Is it both? Because if they're not entertaining and they're not bringing it, then it's okay for Bravo to not put as much behind them because they're not delivering as much based on what you said. Girl.
And people are saying that the show has now become unwatchable.
You're asking NeNe Leakes why?
Do you like what? Okay, listen. Do you want my opinion?
Sure.
Okay. And I'll get red for this, and that's fine.
Atlanta House. I don't know why you would get red for having an opinion.
Oh, God forbid I have an opinion, honey. It goes on Shade Room and hey, Shade Room, hey, neighborhood talk. But it's fine. I'm going to be very honest with you.
Okay.
And this is me speaking as a producer on the show. I started out day one as an associate producer, bottom level. So I've seen things from a bird's eye view, like this is how it works. That show needs an anchor. That show needs somebody, which
this camera shot on him is annoying me. Why is it cutting his hair?
I'm saying to you, it's always you. That show needs somebody that can rally the troops. My all-time favorite trip of Atlanta Housewives history will always be Savannah. I love Savannah. You have fun. There was a shade, and it was really sisterhood. And I'm not saying this because you're in my face. I said this behind your back. You were able to orchestrate the conversations, and I saw them look to you like, what are we doing? When you said, okay, let's pick room, let's go upstairs, they all looked at you like, NeNe is the anchor, and that's not shade. And that's why the problem to me now is there's no anchor.
You are by far the shadiest showrunner I've ever sat with, by far. And one of the great things about you, as I said earlier, is that you know all the girls. You knew what made us tick. You know I'm going to call NeNe in, and this is going to piss her off today. Or you knew to call NeNe in, and NeNe could call someone. You knew those things because you had a personal relationship with each and every one of us. And
that's not the only reason why. That's not the only reason why. It's because that's who he is. I would really love to hear what Carlos' siblings have to say about him. Because I feel like if he was anything like this as a child, his siblings probably got in a lot of trouble and a lot of fights because his ass was instigating some shit.
Each and every one of us were able to call you when we needed something. And that's a great thing about you. So when the other showrunners come in, they don't know us. You know what I mean? They don't know our personalities.
Or try to get to know y'all.
Try to get to know us. You knew our children, you knew our husbands, and all those things made for a great show with you being able to know all of our relationships. And I will tell you what me and my glam talked about before coming out here. Like Destiny's Child. It could never be Destiny's Child without Beyonce. And I feel like I don't want to give myself that, but the truth is, I started the show. I
don't want to give myself that, but I'm going to, bitch. I'm Beyonce, and Real Housewives of Atlanta, it's not Real Housewives of Atlanta-ing because I'm not there. That's what she's saying. And I think everybody needs to understand something. If you are that girl like you say you are, then you should be able to move on and recreate it somewhere else. It was an ensemble cast, and you were never that fucking entertaining by yourself. You were always entertaining when you had somebody to hate on or somebody to bounce jokes off of. But outside of that, if you were so fucking entertaining all on your own, then you would have had spinoffs. You would have had other shows. But you weren't thinking about that. You want to do what's easy. That's what you and Sheree got in common. Y'all want to do what's so fucking easy for y'all. Ain't no real hard work. Create another show. Oh my God.
And I shot the pilot. I did season 1. I am an original housewife. I knew what the show needed. I gave the show everything.
I'm going to read y'all super chats at the end of the video, y'all.
And take
Thank
them
y'all.
off
I
of the
appreciate
show
y'all.
And really think that you're going to be able to put somebody else in that position. It just could never work. It just could never work.
Child, Beyonce ain't never talk bad about Kelly or Michelle.
Now, what I do feel like they might possibly could do, I'm not sure if it's going to work, is to tell everybody it's been real.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Agreed.
And start a whole new cast.
Yes, I agree with that.
Other than that, to keep trying and bringing these people back in and out. And
I agree with her there. I personally feel like they should leave Kenya and Kandi, and they should give us all new girls. And eventually Kenya and Kandi should phase out once other girls have been cemented there longer. I think it is time for a new cast of girls. But I feel like right now, Kenya and Kandi are the anchor. And as long as they're there, then it will make sense, at least for another season or two. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not feeling Sonya. Marlo can go. Sheree can absolutely go. And Courtney can go as well. I want y'all to get people that actually have lives, things going on in their personal lives, not people that's just showing up to all of these, meetings so that they can shade each other and argue about bullshit. Like, can we get some people that actually got shit going on in their lives that they want to show us? Like, Kenya and Kandi can stay for 1 or 2 more seasons, and if ain't nothing else going on in their life, transition them out too. We need a whole new set of people at this point, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know how you think we gonna have a new set of people with your ass back.
Then out, it's just not gonna work. We already know what they did. You gonna bring them back? Yeah, she was fun. Why'd you take her off in the first place? Okay, you bring this back. Why did you take her off? Why is she back? It's just like, what are you guys doing? And the friends of the show is who I'm confused by. I'm very confused by the friends. I am looking at the show like, who are the friends and why are they here? That's where I keep looking at, like, why did the friend get here? Why is she the friend?
Mm-hmm.
And why
Child,
is she
I feel the same way.
I'm confused.
Is it sad to see the...
You're not confused, but it's funny that you say that because we don't know why Courtney's there.
house you built crash and burn?
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. I've said it so many times. This is a shame. And it's a shame that they don't get what it needs. That's the real shame, is they don't really understand what the show really needs. It's really simple to us. I mean, we're looking at the show like, this is really simple. Where is the fabulousness of the show? Where is the girl? I feel like you do too. I'm not if everybody's there just to get a check, but there's a lot of girls who are not working, who are not giving they all. Like Kenya, for instance. We know that Kenya can give.
Oh, baby.
We know that she can read.
Yes.
We know that she can come in and do a whole scene, but we're not seeing that. And I think that is because she's not interested, because there's not interesting talent there for her to be interested in. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if she had somebody there,
she's bored.
Right, she's bored. If she had somebody there to read, then she can get read, and then she would be, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, girl, you about to get read because you ain't finna take me there because I'm finna come for you. And so the same thing with Kandi. You need somebody that grab her up and take her there, because otherwise she's just chilling. So she's just like, okay, I'm just getting this check. But you bring some of these girls in who are going to really read you, girl, and not really care about you being here for 10 years, then you're going to do your job, because we're about to gather you now. And so I think they just missed it.
Yeah, but see, that's what you talking. She's talking about the shit that's happening. Y'all get these new girls, they don't have shit going on in their life, so all they do is come for Kenya and Kandi trying to have a fucking moment. Kenya's bored because that's what they always do. They come to her trying to read and have a moment, and she's bored because, bitch, you ain't on my level. You're not on my level. You're not on my level in life. You're not on my level on this show. So why would I even give you the energy, Courtney? Like, you want me to give you a moment so that you can get on my level. That's what Kenya understands at this point. What really needs to happen is Real Housewives producers, truly original. Y'all need to go get better talent for the other girls to work with. Stop bringing us people that don't have shit going on in their life or no real confidence about themselves.
They just missed it. And they need other girls to come on the show. Now, I do hear that Marlo is reading Kandi a lot. I will have to go do my research, but I hear that she is
Marlo can't read
for the gods.
Marlo can't read anybody because Marlo isn't smart enough to read anybody. Like, I don't know what you mean reading her for the gods, saying Kandi was fucked out, saying that Kandi doesn't take accountability. When has Marlo read Kandi this season? I know that folks came for her at the reunion, I heard. But outside of that, Marlo can't read. Like, what are you even talking about? Marlo never knows what she's saying. She doesn't even read in the confessionals.
Not the gods, Lord.
Yeah, so I call the gods, honey.
Oh,
so
come on, boo.
Honey. Yeah,
hey,
come through Kandi there. Now, no Kandi can scream back, honey. So come on. So she's doing her
Hold up. I need to stop so I can read Jamie comment. I'm confused. Why is a show based around reading and dragging someone? So we want to build a house of hate? That sounds sad and dysfunctional. I thought people like when they have fun. Hire real friends. Child, we tried that. We tried that with Mayetta, and y'all see how they, I like Mayetta, but I also feel like she does kind of blend into the background, and that's a good thing sometimes. But honestly, like, for instance, this past episode where they tried to call her, when Saya trying to call her to the carpet for saying collusion, instead of apologizing in a nice, nasty way, she should have stood on it and said, well, yeah, I mean, if you look up the word, I feel like that's the perfect word for what y'all were doing. Like, what's the problem? And then I would have said, how, well, Sonya, maybe you don't understand it because they were trying to explain it to you too. Like, Mayetta should have stood in it, and Mayetta didn't stand in it. Okay. So we wonder about these friends sometimes, Jamie. Now, you know, Jamie, I feel like they really should put you on there, because Jamie will read you the fuck down. Okay. Jamie don't care. Jamie will read you down with the most driest, happy sounding voice. Like, I don't understand. Okay. That's what need to be on there.
Job. So it seems like Marlo is doing her job.
Yes.
And who else is working on the show now?
Sheree's there.
And what is she doing?
She started off dating Martell.
Oh, right. And she's no longer with him. I got to cross my leg. I'm sorry. And she's no longer with him.
And I felt like there were moments of her becoming an anchor.
Oh, they were trying to get her to become an anchor. I could see that. Maybe that's because she's an original, but I don't think she has it in her to rally the girls and give them that voice and be that person. I just don't see it.
Let's talk about your friendship, your celebrity friendships. You and Wendy Williams had a great friendship at one point in time.
Yes.
She is now going through something very troubling.
Yes.
And it doesn't look good for her, unfortunately, and we're all praying for Wendy. But going back to y'all great friendship, at one point in time it ended. I'm going to be very honest with you. When Wendy's talk show was on, bitch,
I know what you're going to say.
It was appointment television. I love Wendy and I still love Wendy. But you're my girl. And people know we ride for each other.
Yes.
I did not like when she referred to you as the girl over there. I just didn't like it because I felt like, and this is no shade to Wendy, I felt like at some point in everyone's life, we're that girl or boy over there. We all are that at one point. Wendy was that doing radio. And then through the grace of God and his blessing, you have a daytime syndicated talk show, which is huge. You're not somebody that was, you're the biggest reality star in the world. So to refer to you as the girl over there, like she was better than you, I didn't like that. And you two were still friends. When she would say that about you, would you call her and be like, no, bitch, what's really going on?
I would be very confused. There's many times when I've called Wendy, but also you have to know that I'm one of her friends that were kind of on the inside. So I saw a lot of things and I would take it with a grain of salt where other people would take it personal. Right. So Wendy saying that, I knew then that, you know, something's going on with Wendy at this moment, because that's, you know, she wouldn't say that in the other case. So my friendship with Wendy, I would have to say this was off and on a lot. I would have to say that I really liked her a lot. And when she was fun, she was really fun. I enjoyed going to New York, being with Wendy, going out and having drinks with her, going to her beautiful place that she has. We would go out to dinner and drinks. I saw her switch on me like right in the same day, you know, change. And I don't know what happened, but change and be something else or do something else.
So you met your match. Because to me, it just kind of seemed like Wendy did to you the way you do to the other girls. It seemed like to me.
But honestly, I really liked her. And every time it would be like we're having a great time. And then suddenly I would turn on the TV and she would be saying something about me. And I'd be like, we were just having a damn good ass time. Like, how do we get here now? Like, why is she saying that about me? I would try to think to myself that it was because she was doing TV and she was just making a great show. But I would always even say to her that, Wendy, you have to have at least like 2 friends that you're going to be friends with, and you're not going to be going in on them like 2.
Okay,
and you talk about everybody else, but these 2 friends right here, like I'm going to say them. But it would never be me. I honestly felt like Wendy was in a place where she didn't care about any of her friends anymore. And she would just say whatever she had to say.
Like you.
Because I really liked her as a person. No matter what was going on her show, no matter what was going on in her personal life, I just liked her as a person.
When was the last time you spoke to her?
It's been a while. I would have to say the last call, she made it to me. And she was trying to resolve whatever, like, hey, how are you? I'm sorry. You know, like trying to apologize.
Was she off the talk show at that point?
I want to say, I think so.
Okay.
And not off the talk show. They had not said her show was gone.
Okay.
It was a moment when people were like hosting. Or something.
Substituting her seat. Yeah.
And we just, at that moment, I didn't even want to hear it. So,
is it true that you had a talk show with Tom Arnold, a deal for you and Tom Arnold to have a talk show, kind of like, you know, Kelly and Ryan, that was going to be produced by the same production company who produced the Wendy Williams show, and that when you two got into it and you made a statement that you're mad that I'm coming for you, that she gave the production company an ultimatum, and ultimately they decided to not pursue the talk show with you and Tom Arnold?
I had a deal with Dead My Mercury, and which is the same company that produces the Wendy Williams show. And I'm not sure if they had locked in my co-host at the time, but we did have talks with Tom Arnold and others. I don't know if he had a deal with them as of yet, but I had a deal in the works with them. And she and I got into our thing. I think I had a Birkin bag, and Kim Kardashian had one, and we had put graffiti on it. And she said that, like she can afford to do that, but Kim them could afford to do it. And I was like, listen, Wendell, and when I said that, we kind of went back and forth, and both of us was at this women empowerment thing, and just anyway, just went super left. All I know is we went back and forth, and they pulled my deal.
How did you find out they pulled the deal?
Through my attorney. The deal wasn't going any further. And I was like, what?
Let me tell y'all something. I don't know whether it was because of her or it was because of Wendy. I do remember feeling like Wendy probably put the kaputs on her show, and that they were still cool after that too. Either way, I just kind of feel like I could believe that Wendy tried to stop you from getting close to her, feeling like she needed to protect her spot, because Wendy didn't want nobody coming for her spot, even when it was time for her to go sit her ass down and give it up. So I can believe when NeNe is saying that Wendy snaked her, but I could also say I didn't want to see NeNe and no fucking Tom Arnold. So
wow. And it was, I said something in the press and everything, whatever they said, I said, because we can Google it. Whatever it is that I was supposedly said, I didn't say it. But at the end of the day, Detmar Mercury pulled my deal, and I no longer had a deal to do a talk show. And was the last deal. Well, I've had a couple people to come to me about doing a talk show, but I've never been able to do a talk show since.
Why is that, you think?
I don't know. Like I was put on the list of can't do a talk show.
Do you think you're blackballed?
I was very much so. I have been able to work, a little now, but for a long time, yes. And definitely in certain areas like podcasting, no. Talk show, no. That's always been a no for me. Like no matter, I've wanted to do a podcast or wanted to do a talk show is.
So let me ask you a question, NeNe. What do you think you need to do in order to get a podcast? Because you really can do what the rest of us do, what Carlos does. Like we buy the equipment and we get on YouTube, we make the podcast and we post the shit. And once we get a good amount of people watching and listening to us, then somebody might come along and want to sponsor. Like you don't need anybody to do this. Exactly. You want a big deal. You want somebody to come and hand you something instead of you having to work for it. That's the main problem you seem to be having in life, is that you don't understand when it's time for you to actually work for something versus always feeling like somebody's going to hand it to you.
Always been a no. It's always been a no. And I've had many people to come to me with offers and then they just die.
So you would get presented offers for talk show and podcast, and you engage with them, and then all of a sudden it goes away.
And all of a sudden it goes away.
Like a phone call was made or something.
Yes. We could be in a full-on negotiation and suddenly it just goes dead. That has happened many times.
Yeah, it's giving entitlement. It's giving you think that somebody has to hand you something.
It makes me very sad because the one thing I always say is I'm a black girl with blonde hair. Now I can't be you and you can't be me, right? So what I bring to the table, you're not actually bringing to the table, right? And I also think there's enough money out here for everybody and for all of us to eat. And who even says that my podcast or my talk show will even be successful? Like, give me the opportunity. Let me have the chance to be able to do it. So I was in many talks to do many things and they would just die. And that's not by chance. That's not by chance.
What is it that you would like to do now? Like what is on NeNe's vision board that if someone's listening who's able to grant you the opportunity of your dreams, what is it that you would want right now in this place in your life?
I love talk. So obviously talk is probably in the forefront. I love to talk and I love to act. So
you like to play yourself shows, and stuff.
TV series, all those things. I love everything entertainment though, honestly. Probably one's no greater than the other. I love any and everything entertainment.
Do you think you should be bigger than Kim Kardashian?
Absolutely. If not bigger, right there with her. I feel like they pushed Kim and they didn't push me. Kim came on after me and they opened up every door. And every
not grant you the opportunity.
Even putting us together at times and making her, much more bigger than me. she had North. Obviously, I was at North baby shower with her and Kanye, but they pushed Kim to the front and pushed me to the back.
Because she's white, honey. Get over this. Like, get over this, girl. Please get over this. This is why you create camaraderie with other Black women. So you can stop thinking that once you rub elbows with the right people, you're going to be gifted whiteness. Like, get over it.
And I don't think that was by chance. I think that was the way they wanted it to be. We were together because I was NeNe and I came out before her, and it just kind of looked good for us to be together. That's how I feel. Chris had a talk show. I co-host with Chris on the talk show.
Yes. Also, she's ignoring that Kim is a sex symbol. NeNe is a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong. And she is sexy to who she's sexy to. But Kim is a like a sexual icon. Like, she's known from sex. We know her from hopping on Ray J's dick.
I just think that they made her more successful, and she was able to get opportunities and walk through doors that they just did not want me to walk through. She did shoe dazzle, I did shoe dazzle around the same time, and they just pushed her stuff forward, and they were always giving opportunities. And one other thing is that whenever we had businesses, it felt like we couldn't really show them that much on our show, but on their show, all they do is talk about their businesses, and all they do is talk about lunch and their makeup lines.
It's their show, though, NeNe. It's their show. They have a show, but the Kardashians they own that. You don't own Real Housewives. Is she not understanding that there's a huge difference?
Their clothing lines or their whatever they're doing, and I don't feel like we were able to do that as much. So I just wasn't given the opportunities that she was given.
I want to play a game with you
because I don't play games.
You were famous for saying some people are stars and starless. So I'm gonna say some names, and I want you to tell me if they're stars or starless. Giselle Bryant,
starless.
Robin Dixon,
starless.
Kenya Moore,
in between. Star his. I don't know. I think, honestly, can I talk about Kenya a few minutes? I feel like there was a moment when Kenya could have been this big star because she was to the Black community, because she was Miss USA and she was this beautiful Black Barbie that had won that pageant. And I feel like coming on Housewives changed how people saw her and viewed her. I think showing her mean side, or whatever side that was, aggressive or in your face side, I think that people that enjoyed watching pageants enjoyed her as Miss USA. When they saw her in that role, they were kind of like shocked, like, oh my gosh, she's like a villain, because she was a villain. And I think it changed how people felt about her, because people really put her on the pedestal and looked at her one way. And then once she stepped onto Housewives, I think they saw her another way. So I do think there was a moment where Kenya was a star. And I think I would have to say that reality didn't help her star. That may be a better way to say it.
What about Portia?
I think Portia has star potential. And
I'm sorry, I need to
pedestal and looked at her one way. And then once she stepped onto Housewives, I think they saw her another way. So I do think there was a moment where Kenya was a star. And I think I would have to say that reality didn't help her star. That may be a better way to say it.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all. Reality didn't help her star. That's not true. Kenya was a beautiful woman, and we would be happy to see Miss Bozak when we would see her, but she wasn't even starring in any movie roles in the late 90s, early 2000s. She was just somebody that was there. Like, she was Lucius Lyon's wife on Deliver Us from Eva, where Gabrielle Union is the star of the fucking show. And Robin Lee and Essence Atkins are her co-stars. And you see Kenya show up for 5 minutes to play the thirsty wife or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's not shading her, but Kenya became a star because of Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was who she was. Yeah, Kenya was a booty model and she did cameos right before she got on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real Housewives of Atlanta made Kenya a star. So I don't agree with what she's saying right there. I don't understand.
About Portia.
You know, I think Portia has star potential. And I think with the right people around her, I think there is potential.
Phaedra.
I don't see Phaedra as a star, not as a TV star or anything like that. Um, I always view Phaedra, I'm sorry, as more corporate or entrepreneur like. I
Yeah.
don't see her like TV star. See her like
Because she's not. Because she's not. I can't wait to see what she's not going to give on Married to Medicine.
entrepreneur star.
Kandi.
I don't see Kandi as I've never, and so I can't even pretend today. I've never seen Kandi as a star. I have seen Kandi as a supporting star, but not as the star.
To be clear, y'all, even though, and I'm just talking about from growing up, let's just escape. Escape had a whole group of girls that's all singing lead vocals. But we all know that Latasha Scott was like lead vocalist because her voice was the one we would hear the most on the runs and everything. But to be clear, every man wants a woman. Kandi is a fucking star. Kandi was a star. Kandi was the youngest person in that group. And I remember my eyes being pulled to Kandi. As time went on, I definitely felt myself being pulled to Kandi's voice. As time went on, you start being pulled to Kandi's cadence in the way she produces music. Because most of the like #1 albums in the early 2000s made by somebody black has a Kandi credit on it. So to say that somebody is not a star because they're not over the top is bullshit to me. You're a hater. Kandi was a star because when she was in a group with 3 other young women, she stood out. That's what made her a star. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
But as a supporting star.
I'm that kind of girl, so this is what I tell my dude. I tell him to. I'm sorry, I had to do my Kandi voice.
Claudia Jordan.
Starless.
Claudia Jordan starless. To be clear, they should have gave Claudia another season. And I feel like, I don't care what you talking about, I feel like NeNe made it so that Claudia didn't come back a second season. To me. And I also feel like at that time, you were in competition with somebody like Claudia that did hosting gigs, like you were trying to get into doing.
Who won between you and Claudia in Puerto Rico?
I'm always
Claudia.
And
Claudia, and I'm gonna say it's Claudia because you didn't start making anybody laugh until Claudia walked away from the fucking table. You telling jokes once the battle is over doesn't mean you won.
I obviously won. But I will give Claudia this, although she said the most nastiest things about me, and she's been holding on to her voice for 100,000 years. I'm going to give her this. I've read many of girls, honey, and I've been on this show with many girls. I would have to say that she was probably my #1 battle.
Yes.
She was definitely right up there to battle with. Yeah, I don't think that.
Absolutely. She read you the fuck down. Let me tell y'all something. I was so into Real Housewives of Atlanta when Claudia came on there. I was so grateful that somebody finally showed up and did not punk out. Because everybody punked out. Even Kenya, on some level, NeNe, she wanted to be NeNe's friend. She wanted to be accepted by NeNe. And NeNe would not see it for Kenya. I was so happy when Claudia came on the show and read the back of her neck down. Okay. I was so fucking grateful because at that point it was like she was the bully and everybody was scared of her. That's what I remember.
There's not been one other girl that could probably battle the way she did because I took her through it and I feel like she took me through it. And so I feel like we gave each other a run. And not many girls can give me a run. So I will give her, I feel like she definitely stood up.
And I want people to know this too. You told me Enjoy after that scene between you and Claudia, because Demetria was being positioned as a peach holder. And you told me Enjoy, y'all picked the wrong bitch.
That's right.
And Claudia, I want people to know that because you're not this hater. No. You always did what was best for the show.
I did.
You said that bitch Claudia, she's good. Y'all need to give her a peach.
Y'all done got rid of Portia. You need to give Claudia the motherfucking peach because Claudia was really going toe to toe with me. And I will give her that every single time.
That's real cute for y'all to say now. Why didn't Claudia come back the next season? That's real cute for you to say now. But I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Even if NeNe wanted what was best for the show, we saw her several times tell y'all that she didn't like somebody or she wanted them off the show or whatever. Why didn't Claudia come back?
Although she wants to feel like I ripped her toes apart and pulled her Hello Kitty out, honey. At the end of the day, girl, you stood up, honey. I will give you that much, girl. You stood up, honey, because the reeds were coming. I was pulling them out from under my wig. I am not lying. And that's because she was giving me a run.
I was everything. We were, the producer were in the back like this. Yo,
yeah, she was giving me a run, and I was like, girl, I'm gonna have to win now. And so I was going hard, but she was hard too. So, you know, she wasn't easy. She wasn't easy. She did her part. She earned her peach.
So not Kenya, not Sheree, not Kim, Claudia Jordan.
Claudia earned her
peach.
Yes. Kim can't read me, child. You know better. But, you know, they can all try. But I must say that
Go watch that shit over again. She wasn't afraid. Claudia didn't give a fuck.
When it's all said and done, NeNe, what would you like your legacy to be?
Oh, God. I don't know what I want my legacy to be. What I do know is that...
Hold up. Demetria got paid for a peach, but Claudia ended up as well. But when they went in to get Claudia's story, it wasn't working out from what I understand. She was amazing for what she was there for. Okay. So Claudia's backstory, Claudia's personal life. Okay, you know, they be out there talking. We don't know who you was fucking around with at that time, but Claudia must not have had anything going on in her personal life that would have worked. I think Claudia was great, but a highly paid friend would have been perfect. Yes. I think she should have stayed on the show as a friend of. And the fact that she did not stay on the show in any capacity makes me feel like, regardless to what NeNe and Carlos are telling us right now, when it all brought down to it, why didn't she return in any capacity? Tell me why. I just need to understand that. Because she could have returned in a friend capacity. Y'all had Marlo coming back all the fucking time. Shit.
I want people to know that my heart is bigger than this entire room. I am a lovable person. There's no hate ever in my heart. Ever when you see me, there's no hate. And I have no ill feelings towards anybody that I've ever worked with. Honestly, you know.
That's a lie.
I tell it like it is. It is what it is. And over time, you get over it. I just want people to know that I'm a good person. And I always on this platform fought for women, and I don't feel like people fought for me, but I definitely fought for the women I thought that should be in position. Yes, Claudia, I fought for you, girl.
You did.
You got that peach, honey. Yes. Now you can keep talking about me as all you want to. Okay. I fought for.
Okay, I got you. Claudia declined the friend of role, which I understand. Like, if I'm gonna come on as a peach holder, now you want me to come after I done did all of this work. You want me to come on here and not, but at the same time, they gave Marlo a fucking peach all these years later, and we ain't seen nothing really about her personal life. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I know y'all want to believe, you know, NeNe went to bat for Claudia, and I'm sure on some level she did, but we've often seen NeNe say one thing and then turn around and say another, or say one thing and then turn around and do another. It doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? But you hate on everybody, bitch. Like, you hate on the people that are good for the show, whether they bad for the show. At one point or another, you were on Watch What Happens Live or on Twitter or somewhere saying that the girl didn't deserve to be there. And I'm not talking about Claudia. I'm talking about any of the women that have been on the show.
A lot of people. Yes, Portia, I fought for you. You're on here. Cynthia, hello. Thank you.
Okay. So as she just said, Cynthia, hello. Okay. So are we going to act like we didn't see her several times get her ass on television and say that Cynthia was boring and she could go? We didn't see that? Oh, okay. But you're going to tell me that she fought for Cynthia. Okay.
So I did.
Point
I
made.
Feel like it was all returned.
My point
but
is
that's
made.
Okay, because you don't do things for things to be returned. They will all come back in due time. Now, this is the moment where, yes, microphone, I'm here for this is the moment where I have to turn.
Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
Yes, honey, cross your legs and do not edit it out.
No, we're gonna keep this. Let's go.
Cynthia wasn't boring when she was kicking Portia in the pussy.
Okay, so I mean, you worked behind the scenes. when I was on the show for so many seasons. Do you feel that I was always giving fair treatment?
Well, this is the thing. I feel like because the show was new and all of us were very new to this, I felt like we were all underestimated. 1,000%. 1,000%. I know that my passion and me being so maniacal in terms of making the show great was because we were Black people. And I know that as Black people,
you can't say NeNe doesn't own Housewives, then blame her for everything that went wrong. She's not a producer. I'm not blaming her for anything that went wrong. I'm not blaming her. I'm saying that she has somewhat of an influence, is what I'm saying. I do feel that she has somewhat of an influence. I do. If you have influence to save people's jobs, as she just stated, then you have influence on whether they should stay or not. Trying to fucking check me. Like, she ain't just say that she helped people keep their jobs. Do she have power or don't she have power? Come on.
People were always underestimated and we don't get our just due. It's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Right.
And I know that when it came to this show, you girls worked your asses off and deserved to be number one.
Yeah.
And I felt like when it came to you, look, I think what happens is there's no instruction manual of what it's like to handle fame. Yeah. And to be known within this local city and then to be an international success. And I think people just did not know what to do with you. They just didn't know. It was like, wait, what? What's going on here? Like, wait, what? And I do feel like you may be the most underrepresented reality star in the world. You are. I think you deserve a walk on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I think you should have talk shows and podcast deals, and you should be on.
All you got to do is pay for it. A Hollywood Walk of Fame, y'all, you pay for that. Like, that's all you got to do. Go pay for it and you'll get one. I do feel like she's an icon. I do feel like she should have all of those opportunities, but I also feel like you can't be mean and an asshole to everybody and expect them to want to work with you.
Netflix scripted shows. I see some reality stars who have opportunities that I think like, oh, NeNe should have had that years ago.
Oh, wait a minute, bitch. Wait a minute, bitch. Don't come on here trying to check me talking about she did not say Kandi was not a star in music. Kandi is boring on TV. So let me go ahead and check you right quick since you're trying to come in here and check me, Nikki Pooh. Let me gather you, honey. Okay, she did not say Kandi isn't a star in music. She said Kandi isn't a star. And when I brought up Kandi being an escape, I'm talking about me literally remembering watching Kandi in videos. Okay? I'm talking about seeing Kandi in music videos, looking through the girls and identifying with Kandi and her being a star in their group to me based on me looking at them and then listening to her voice and then watching her continue to be consistent. Like, don't play with me. Don't play with me because NeNe did not specify whether she was a star in music or not. She just said she wasn't a star. That was a blanketed statement. Don't be trying to check me. Okay. Okay, Pooh. Don't be trying to check me. All right.
I know that you have paved the way for Black reality stars, the females. I know that
there's
females that you're not talking about in reality TV.
Serious, it's not
sure, remain nameless. Who have looked you dead in the eye and said, "What do I do?" Like, they look up to you. You paved the way.
Camera shot
Tammy
is
Roman says that. Tiffany Pollard even says
Jamie, look at this camera shot. Jamie, why didn't he check his camera shot? I feel like, was he working alone? Did nobody come and help him? Because why is this camera shot like this? I'm sorry, y'all. I just expect more from Carlos. Carlos is an executive producer on like 4 shows. Like, I expect him to have somebody come in and make this look real cute for him. He needed a camera person. Where's the camera person? Camera person needs to be checked. I'm not going to say they need to be fired, but camera person, where were you? It was most important for NeNe to look good. Don't get me wrong. But if we're going to keep putting up these shots of him in his little bitty t-shirt, then I just need for his head to not be cut off in a shot. This is bothering me. I'm talking to Candy Coated Jamie. That's
the queen.
Listen, is he covering something with that angle? Come on, Jay. This is why I love Jamie. Okay. This is Candy Coated Jamie right here. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Jamie's YouTube page, okay? because she is booked and busy. All right. Y'all don't know how much Jamie is that girl. We're going to have Jamie on the Ooh Ladies first panel because we need her to go all the way back and explain to us what happened with Portia when Portia was running down the street screaming Jamie's name. Okay. We need a playback. We need to go all the way, since we want to go back to the beginning of Real Housewives and shit and talk about stuff. Jamie, we're going to have you on so you can tell us some stuff. Okay.
And I do feel like when it comes to where things are now, it does sadden me. I just don't understand why you aren't on network television, reading the girls for Phil, having a good time. And
because of her attitude, Carlos.
I think if not bigger, you should be on the same level as Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I think iconically she is.
Get the tear out the side of my eye.
Don't cry, bitch. But no, I think, listen, I'm happy we're doing this because, listen, we all make mistakes.
Give
and
her
I think we
flowers.
all can look back on our time and say, I should have done that differently. I could have handled that better. My hope for you and the people involved in this situation, from Andy to Bravo to the companies, I just want you guys to have a conversation. I think if people were in a room without the lawyers and people in your ear, I know for a fact that a 3-hour
this is her YouTube page
can eradicate all of this. And it's sad. I'm not gonna cry. It saddens me.
Is he gonna cry?
That I have to sit back and watch a woman who paved the way even for me to be able to sit in this room across from you. And it makes me sad because it's not okay. And
so there is somebody back there that can come and give us some fucking tissue, but can't fix this wayward camera angle trying to cover up this nigga's 5 head. Okay, let me tell y'all something. How many times is Carlos gonna cry in an interview with a fucking narcissist on their behalf? Because this is definitely reminding me of him getting emotional over fucking Martell's ass during the reunion show. How are you more emotional over these people's careers than they are over their own careers? This is such bullshit.
Like I feel like when it comes to you, you have.
This is a mean post. If you sensitive and you think I'm mean, please get off this video because I'm about to be meaner. Fuck all of these tears. She's an asshole. That's why she don't have a lot of these jobs that you feel like she should have, because she gives people her ass to kiss. Let's not even get into you.
You've done so much for this industry, and I feel like you've done so much for this genre, and I feel like you've done so much for everybody. And I hate that people.
So be clear, Jamie is not an assistant. Jamie is a brand manager. A brand manager is not the same thing as an assistant. Your assistant like gets your coffee and shit. Your brand manager has conversations with corporations on how to get you a deal. It's a little different.
People can't make mistakes, say dumb shit,
Right.
and not say, okay, bitch, let's figure it out. You and I have falling out. So like me and you went toe to toe. And we got back together because it wasn't that deep. And what you're going through to me just isn't that fucking deep. Get the fuck over it. Sit down. Have the conversation. It's stupid as fuck. I think it's dumb. I really do believe if everybody was in the room for 3 hours and just talked it out, yell at each other, bitch, you did that.
I can't believe y'all got me on these white people's side. Like I'm literally sitting up here thinking if I was the white men at Bravo that's in control of this shit, I'd be looking at these two motherfuckers like, this is just ridiculous and pathetic. Y'all know what y'all did. I'm not doing this with y'all. I ain't y'all fucking friend. I ain't got to sit down and hash nothing out with you. I gave you an opportunity on my network. It was a mutually beneficial relationship. You decided that you could give me your ass to kiss. I gave you a chance to make it right, and you gave me your ass to kiss again, and now I'm not fucking with you. That's it. That's all.
And in the end say, okay, well, we got it out. Let's move on. It pains me. It pains me because it doesn't have to be this way. And I feel like ego gets in the way. But with you, I really want you to know that you deserve so much more than what this world is giving you. And I feel horrible that you are going through what you're going through. This bitch got me crying. Anyways, continue.
Oh my God.
You see how it was so quick to and scene. Okay, shout out to Kandi and scene.
So I know you've been watching Real Housewives. The new season.
This is Jamie's YouTube, y'all. House of Glam. Up here on the screen, her name in the comments. That's all you have to look up on YouTube.
Housewives. So what do you think that Real Housewives of Atlanta needs?
A clean slate.
You want everybody fired because they don't like you.
I just got to be honest. I think the reason why
So
people...
Sweet 16 is coming.
What's that?
Season 16.
Oh, Sweet 16. Oh, that's so funny. No, listen, I think no one is showing up to work.
That's true.
No one's showing up to work. I remember coming to your boutique and you were, I think this was season 10 or 11. And you said, bitch, they don't know what to do without you. She said, these girls walk around like, what do we do? Carlos ain't here, bitch. What are we doing?
Because you put a battery in their back. You do. You had told Kenya everything to say. You like, now go.
Oh, no.
Yes, you do. You put a battery in
and
these
you
girls'
always
back.
thought Kenya was my favorite.
Yes. Now, who's your favorite, though?
I love all of y'all equally.
No, that's a lie. Who's your favorite, honey? Kenya's always been your favorite.
You said Sheree was at one point.
Around and like Sheree, too.
I love, I'll be honest. I have a very, listen, you and I have this chemistry that's undeniable, and we have this love, and people just, it's infectious.
Yeah, but besides that, honey,
no, listen.
keep it 1,000. You love talking to Sheree.
I love,
you know, and you
Sheree.
would sneak around and love Marlo on the side too.
I do love. No, that's the thing. I do. I love the girls.
You do. You would sneak around.
I love the girls.
You know what? I feel like you're like Janet Jackson. She would say that her relationships with her siblings would change. Like
Jamie, I'll point out to you, he does not cry over everybody on Huntsville like this. He cries over Martell like this. He cries over Martell like this.
Okay, Michael will be her favorite for a little while. And then she'll switch into Latoya be her favorite. And then she said that's how it was because she's in a big family. So I feel like you would switch like right now NeNe's my favorite. And then later on you'd be like, you know what? Sheree's my favorite.
This is where I'm at.
Okay,
Kenya's my favorite.
I received that. That's
you
the
switch.
answer.
You
I would switch.
Yeah.
It would depend on the season. It would depend on the season. There you go.
Okay, besides me, who on Housewives or who's been on Housewives that you feel is a star? Okay, there aren't any.
No, I do. No. Listen, if I had to choose one, I think Kenya is a star.
Okay.
I
would give you that because as I said, I feel like there was a moment when I feel like Kenya was a star, and then I feel like reality TV made people be like, I don't know if I like her.
Yeah. So I would say Kenya.
And she's your favorite. So I know you would say that.
Whatever. I don't have any favorites this season.
For the men, because that's another thing I would say. And would you agree that when we were on, the men played a very big
100%
part of the show, and I don't feel like we hear about the men anymore as much. And the men, we did a couple strip. You remember we used to couple strip and stuff like that. And so, who's your favorite couple? Who has your favorite couple been?
Oh, and listen, I will go on the record. NeNe and Greg. No one would ever top NeNe and Greg. I would call him Dad.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the men should be more involved?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. The problem,
of course, you feel like that. Of course, you feel like the men should be more involved because that's what happens on your shows.
Is these women don't want to pay the men 15% of their check anymore.
I never gave my husband 15%.
No, that was different. No, that's the thing Peter and Cynthia talked about.
Yeah.
Listen, there's a certain level of producing and understanding that show needs. It's the DNA. I do say like Destiny's Child. There's a certain level of camaraderie and people that you need. And I feel like everyone's bored. I feel like no one knows what they're doing. I feel like people are there for the wrong reasons. And it's always about the intention. And the intention of everyone involved is not at its highest at all.
Okay.
No.
So if you had to pick a cast for season Sweet 16, who would it be?
Okay, and you have the answer too.
Why?
Because you do. And this is my real answer. NeNe, Kim, Sheree, Kenya, Portia, Phaedra, and Kandi.
I don't see Phaedra being it. I mean,
that's my dream. I feel like we were robbed of getting a Kandi and Phaedra conversation.
I do too. Now, always.
So you mean to tell me you can instigate a lie against somebody? Because from what I understand, you were a part of that, Carlos. You were a part of that plot that season with Phaedra. You knew about it. You were able to clean it up and act as if it didn't have anything to do with you. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to understand how you were involved in that collusion that took place. But you're like, see, I feel like we never had a conversation. Like, what? It's crazy how y'all feel like you can like completely malign, disrespect, and say anything about somebody and still expect something from them. It is insane. There are a lot of conversations that have never come full circle, so we can all hang that up. Hang it the fuck up. And on top of that, y'all, this is another thing I want y'all to get out of y'all head. Phaedra is not entertaining. She's not. When Phaedra was with Apollo, she was entertaining. When Phaedra was rubbing her booty against Portia's booty, that was entertaining. Outside of that, the rehearsed, written down reads, yeah, she's not that entertaining. As you saw when she moved on to marriage boot camp with the dude she wasn't even really in a relationship with. Get the fuck out of here with this, man. You just want to bring Phaedra back because you want to try to fix what you ruined or what you helped ruin that season that y'all said Kandi had people down there in the fucking dungeon.
Wait, said that.
I feel like
I thought that was very
and I'm gonna
unfair
say
to the
it, and I'm gonna
viewers,
say
too.
it. I'm gonna stand on this hill.
Me too.
Vanderpump Rules.
Mhm.
Those white kids
Mhm.
said we're dealing with something devastating and crazy,
Mhm.
and we're all gonna show up and work, and we all get to show our story. And now the show was nominated for an Emmy.
It's very weird to me when you want the racist white lady to rejoin the black cast. It's very, very alarming to me that y'all constantly want to put black women in these hostile environments for entertainment. Like, I think it's different to be arguing amongst each other as black women. It's a whole nother thing when y'all put a white woman in the mix with her entitlement and her ability to not have to film and tape the way the rest of the women had to. That was one of the most annoying things about that season, was seeing how even on the cast, where the black women are the ones that are actually doing all of the heavy lifting around here, this white woman gets to come in, tape, and have her weird ass husband and his thick football neck sitting in the car out in a fucking driveway in a parking lot waiting on her so she can just come and get this check off our back and then go back to her little white household. Okay? I think it's really annoying when y'all keep trying to bring back Trailer Park Kim to Real Housewives of Atlanta after she done already showed y'all how she feel about y'all as black people.
Feel like, listen, I'm not here to judge what people did. It doesn't involve me. It's whatever.
Right.
God is the only person who judge us.
Mhm.
As a producer, I feel like at the end of the day, to your point, if she can forgive Portia,
Yeah.
why can't? And we got a chance to see that.
That's right.
We should have saw that with Phaedra. And because we did not
Me
see
too.
Phaedra and Kandi deal with the aftermath, it ruined the show.
And it's been years.
Ruined
They
it?
could have. She didn't have to be a regular on the show. They should have sat down.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know.
It would have been
why
the highest rated season, and it may have been Emmy nominated.
Well, they control them.
It would not have been Emmy nominated. That's such bullshit. I hate that you would put that on Kandi's shoulders because you know Kandi wants an EGOT. So you think that bullying Kandi or trying to guilt her by using how she wants to get an EGOT, that's what you're doing right now, right? Oh, she would have got her Emmy if only she would have sat down and talked to Phaedra. Fuck y'all. That lady don't have to sit down and talk to nobody if she don't want to. And I actually feel like Kandi gave Phaedra the opportunity to set the shit right at the reunion, and she refused to take accountability. She turned her chin up and she acted as if she had nothing to say to Kandi. And we all know she vindictively did that shit because she wanted Kandi to pick a side with the whole Apollo situation. I didn't agree with the way Kandi handled the situation with Apollo and all of that. But at the end of the day, I still feel like for you to go that far to malign her to get back at her, bitch, we can't ever be friends or be cool at all, because look at the lengths that you will go to get back at me over something that ain't even that fucking deep. And then when you were called to the carpet at the reunion show, the lies, your ass did not want to really be honest and talk about shit. We have nothing to talk about. If you can't hit a bitch up in private and have a conversation, and we damn sure can't be forced to have a conversation for no fucking check. Because how's she gonna know if it's real? That's ridiculous. I don't like that.
Those nominations. So I don't know about all of that. Do you think it's time to have a gay couple on the Real Housewives franchise?
Yeah, listen, I'm all about making sure.
Only if it's two women. Only if it's two women. If it's two women, then yeah, they can be on Real Housewives of Atlanta. But do I want to see two gay men and a man with a peach on Real Housewives? No, I don't. I want y'all to create another show and do that.
The shows represent where we are in the world, and I like the fact that we get to showcase different couples for sure. Yeah. Who is your if you were able to cast the Sweet 16, who would be on your list?
First of all, I don't even know the girls that are on the show over there.
I don't watch Miami, but okay.
I would not say myself. I would say Portia for sure. I think Portia's quite entertaining. I think you have to have Kandi because she's been there for so long and people feel like, you know, for whatever reason, Kandi need to be there, and that way Kandi can get red, and she need to be there. Marlo is good there.
So y'all want Kandi on the show so she can get red. That's why y'all want her to have this sit down with Phaedra. So in some way, Kandi can have to humble herself, right? Because y'all always want to humble Kandi. All right, got it.
I think Kenya will be there. I have had a few run-ins with you.
I heard Miami is good. I just don't care.
My lounge a lot. So I have I think she's good there. I think I like seeing Drew on the show.
I might care eventually. I don't right now.
I don't have anyone else that I would say at the moment. I can't say Phaedra, and I can't say Sheree.
Okay.
I don't mind Kim if she's coming to go to work.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, because a lot of times she doesn't come to work. So that will be an issue there. Okay. I also think they need to find somebody new. There's so many.
Not you gotta have Kandi if you want to win the algorithm. Because Kandi puts in the most work. That's really what it is.
Georgia, who has
on social media and all of that.
Husbands, and I think they need some new blood on the show as well. I think all of the friends that are currently on the show, I don't know what they're doing. Just the thought of Manietta, and I think there's a girl
they tried it.
She run track.
They tried
Sonia. I didn't know. I've met her before. She seems very nice. I just don't feel like she's a housewife. She don't give me that housewife feeling. I think her and Manietta, they can say goodbye.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think they are it for the show.
Well, that's that.
Let me see, because I had something else for you, honey.
Go ahead.
I think you said it earlier. I don't know that. Even Cameron was brother, would you have a baby?
I do. I want a boy and a girl, and I got their names picked out.
Their name is Cash and Money. Because these girls will get mad about cash.
Okay,
they will get
cash
mad
with K, bitch.
Yes.
No, I would love to have. Listen, I would love to leave everything I built to some of my kids. Yeah. I would love to see a little sassy girl read these girls for Philip and say, my dad is Carlos King, bitch. And I
know you would tell her, honey.
Yes.
She'll be walking around here snapping and popping, honey.
Exactly. Wearing Lululemon.
Lululemon. From working out, honey.
Yes,
I live, honey.
She's going to work the girls and work.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I think you should be doing in-person interviews.
Okay.
I was wondering what the housewife feeling is. I was wondering.
I just don't think it looks cute with your sneakers in the background. I think you should have some nice background like this, and the guest should always be sitting with you. You make enough money where you can fly them in coach, rather. And they can upgrade their own ticket. And I think you should do in person. I think it's just so much more fun. And I think you'll get so much more out of it.
Okay.
And I feel like the viewers would really enjoy it. I also agree with everything that you said about me, because it's all true. Sure, I should be doing so much more.
And you will. And you will.
I'm okay with it, though. I think God has a plan for me.
He does.
And
he never misses.
Yeah, so I'm good. I'm very good right now.
Feed into him.
Yes.
And he will give you Psalm 37:4, delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart.
I think I'm going to be just
I
fine.
know you are going to be. Would you do Love and Marriage Atlanta?
I'm not in a marriage. And I don't even have a current love. I guess my eyes are loving on some people, but I'm not currently in love with anybody.
Okay.
I'm not in a relationship. But if they want a single girl on the show to flirt with their husbands, sure. Because every show has a single person, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't mind being this. This will be the first time in my life I've ever done anything where I'm like the single person.
Okay.
So you never know. By the time Love and Marriage Atlanta hits Atlanta, maybe I'll be available. Or maybe I'll be in a relationship.
Okay.
You never know. So are you planning to do that?
Only if I'm able to get you.
Well, you can only have stars around me. I don't want those tired girls that you go and drag up from some other old show and you're sitting them over here. I do not want that. So, think about that. I have some great ideas. You have to have good girls.
No, and I have a great idea. You and I should go on tour together.
I love to go on tour. What are we going to be talking about?
Anything. I wanna do a tour with you.
Well, let's go.
Where we'll go city to city and just talk.
Oh, people would love to come.
Yes.
People would love to come. The girls and the gays, honey, out for a conversation.
There we go.
And the people will be sitting. Look at Red. He'll be standing right there.
Red in his thighs.
Yes. Come on, big thighs.
Big thighs, big. Okay.
Look at Red. Red said, this is not it. He said, Red said, I don't want to imagine you talking about my damn thighs. But let me tell you. This has been really great. I've enjoyed it. I'm happy that I came at a time when I was ready. Well, first, let me go back for a second before I say that. I noticed that you had the Real Housewives, the OGs, and I wasn't a part of that. Was that the time that you called me?
Yes.
And I said I wasn't ready?
Yes, it was.
Oh, but you didn't tell me that it was going to be.
You never know. So just to go back to that, each girl did not know it was going to be a reunion.
Oh, okay.
Everybody was surprised.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's why I said no. Had I known it was going to be a whole group, I would have said, oh, maybe I'll
go. Okay. Well, listen.
So when he called you, you wasn't ready. But when you found out it was a Housewives thing, You felt like you should have been there. This is why you don't have a job. Like, this is why you don't have a job. This is why you don't have a job. Because when somebody call you and you don't want to deal with it, and I'm not going to answer the phone, well, then you missed that opportunity, bitch. It looked like he was trying to give you the opportunity and you missed it.
But I'm glad those girls went on. I'm glad to have the seat by myself. I don't want to share the air.
Well, I think when you and I go on tour, we will invite when you and I go on tour, we'll invite Kim, Sheree, Lisa, and Deshaun to sit on the stage with us.
I'm actually in a really good place right now.
I can tell.
I think this is a
Jamie.
I don't know.
Yeah, Jamie, you think they got a lot of stuff to talk about? You think if they go on a tour, they're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about that's not Housewives? Okay. All right. Listen, I do think that NeNe and Carlos need to work together. I think he needs to give her a cute little 30-minute show doing something for the people to enjoy.
If you look at sir, but this is the place.
Well, NeNe,
this is the place to be in.
Can't thank you enough. I love you. You're my sis forever.
You're mine too. I love you forever. Come on, knees.
Yes.
I'm so glad you have grown in so many ways, Carlo. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm your mom in many ways.
Yes.
And I'm very proud of you.
You.
Honestly, I'm happy you're able to do this and do this on your own term. I don't even know. How did you think about why did you think to do a podcast? You just thought I'm just gonna start talking or what?
I've been asked to do one for years, and I felt like the time was right. Mm-hmm. And I have so much wisdom to offer to the community. Mm-hmm. That because I'm confident, I don't really give a fuck what y'all think about me in this world. Mm-hmm. The time is now.
And the time is now. So you just came out and you and Kanye West are doing well.
So thank you so much for watching Reality with the King. Catch up.
Is that why you decided to come into this space, Carlos? Oh, okay. Because people kept telling you should do that. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, niece. Let's finish it off.
That's on YouTube, on audio every Tuesday, and we will see you soon.
Oh, okay. Oh, hold on one second. We have to back up because we need to talk about what I'm doing currently.
Yeah, so what are you up to, NeNe?
So I'm up to a lot of things. Actually, I'm back working, which I thank God for because these people were trying to keep me from working forever. But one of the things I'm really passionate about is I have an organization called Ladies of Success. Yes. It's for entrepreneur women around the world, like-minded women to form friendships, learn how to increase their bottom lines. If you are a woman anywhere in the world that's interested in being a part of Ladies of Success, please go to our website, which is ladiesofsuccess.com, and we'd love to have you.
Amen. Thank you, NeNe Leakes, the queen of reality TV, the greatest housewife of all time. Thank you, sis.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you. Follow me on social media for the latest and greatest information.
This was very cute. We just want to say down here at BondyBlue's YouTube page, thank you so much, Carlos and NeNe, for giving me something to review and, giving me a nice little check to make. Thank you so much. I am so appreciative of your contributions to the space. I am. And with that being said, I hope that you gonna give her a job or something. Okay. I hope you're gonna give her something to do. All right. We can argue all day about who the queen of reality TV is. I feel like there are queens in reality TV. There are people that are great at this. There are people that are iconic because of it. And everybody is in their own lane. Everybody's in their own lane. But I'm gonna say what I keep saying. Y'all keep worrying about the wrong shit. If NeNe was really that girl like she say she is, bitch, prove it. Prove it. Because Kandi keep proving she that girl over and over again. Tammy Roman keeps proving she's that girl over and over again. You can't be that girl for one moment and then keep trying to remind everybody for the rest of their fucking life how you that girl. No, you got to remind them by being. Don't tell us. Go be it. Okay? Now, with that being said, I have to go. I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation. Like the video, share it, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.